I saw something when I was in my mid-20s. I can only describe it as like a big, tall shadow mass. I saw it in my grandfather's barn when I was a kid. Him and my uncle used to give me stuff all the time about an old man who shot himself back in the 50s, which has really happened. And he still lived in the barn. I never really paid much attention to it. But one day I was up there about dusk looking for some tires for my truck. It was snowing outside. I was going to go play in the snow, and I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and at first I thought it was my grandpa or somebody else, but it turned out to be just this black shadow thing. It just looked like a dude, but he was completely black from head to toe. And when he didn't really have any eyes, but when we blocked, he just kind of darted off to the left so fast, I knew it wasn't a person, and I knew it wasn't like the shadow of a person. So after I went home and changed my shorts, I had a lot of questions. I was like, your first instinct as a human being is like fear, and then it's curiosity. Yeah. So then I started, going around I was kind of a closet paranormal investigator, because the guys I went to school with, if they would have known that I was out here hunting ghosts, they would have probably locked me in the locker and flushed my head down the toilet. So I didn't say anything to anybody. And then one thing led to another, and here I am, like 10 years later.
I think it's very cool because this was just a small handful of years ago. I remember doing a photo shoot at that same location, his grandfather's property, and it was like a pile of rubble, and we were just standing on it because it looked like a cool photo. And it's like, this is just stemming off his story, and it's like, and then there was the tires, and it's like,
oh yeah,
as many times as we all heard the story, well, us, the team heard the story, it's like, these are the tires that stem. So it was cool for us to see that what stemmed his story to what brought him into this. I thought it was very cool. For me, it's very simple. It's like I started meeting Porter and Doogie at the gym, and it's like I spent 15 plus years in the music business, and I was off the road and met them at the gym, and it's like, hey man, I'm used to life on the road. Can you get me a gig? They were about to start another season of Ghost Asylum. And they're like, well, we can get you, it's not glorious, but we can get you a production gig, and I was like, yeah, anything, whatever, I'll carry luggage, I just want to get back out on the road. I'm used to living out of a suitcase, and it's like they got me a gig on working production on Ghost Asylum, and just all started from there. It's like, that's where I started getting a lot of experiences. I mean, I can go back, I don't have that story of when I was young to what stemmed me to it. I was always open to it, I've always believed in it, but it was during those times, those alone times, working production, where it's like there's a lot of things that happened, and it really got me going. It just kind of became an adrenaline rush, and over time, I was brought on the team, and I went to Haunted Towns, Haunted Live, and then here today. So it's like, that was my journey of it. But I mean, I always go back, I always hear that story a lot, from Chris, and it's like, to stand there that one day of just seeing those tires of, hey man, that was what he went back to. Now it's
just a pile of wood.
It's a pile of wood, but
yeah, when he was in production, it says we used to send him out in the dark. He was like, hey man, I forgot my flashlight down the basement. You got to go there and get like all the wires, the camera equipment, and everything else while we were off to the hotel. So, we broke him in pretty good there first. So.
Yeah, working production, you do a lot of stuff on your own, and it's like when you're filming this show, it's like there's a lot of places that don't have electricity, and it's like, you walk through that first day, we need to run electrical down here, we need this over here, we need that over there, and it's like you're doing a lot of places, going through a lot of these locations by yourself, and it's a different story when you're by yourself. When you're by yourself and you're down there and you start seeing things and hearing things, and it's like, wow, this stuff really is for real.
Yes, ma'am.
What's been your most intense experience? Like about all the ghost hunts and stuff you've done that, say this, pardon my English, but really scared the shit out of you?
There we go.
Yeah, there's two now. We did a show called Haunted Live, and we got to go back to that place. For me, it's called Craig Farm. It's in Castaic Springs, Tennessee. And it's a really old mansion. The Winchesters built it. And we had been trying to get in there for years. When I was a kid, when we were teenagers, we used to go out there and try to look in the windows, and then the caretaker would always run us off the property. So, and it was always one of those places growing up that you heard was haunted. There was always stories. Like, for instance, there was a maintenance guy that an axe got thrown at him, and, that they found like a bureau, like a whole big dresser out in the yard. Nobody knew how it got there, things like that. In fact, the caretaker, he didn't even want us to get in there because he was real, religious, and he's like, the devil lives in there. You guys don't go in there. He was like quoting scripture and everything, but for some reason that place, out of all the places I've been across the country, it just had a feeling. I'm not like a feel kind of guy. I've got to see it or hear it. But for whatever reason, when I walked in that place, it just an overwhelming, sense of dread came over me, and it was just something I've never experienced. And since then, I never experienced it before I walked in, and I can only describe it as just dread. And I lasted about 5 minutes by myself, and then I got the hell out of there. But that's probably the most intense. I know it's not like a big story about seeing or hearing something, but as far as intense goes, yeah. That's
Honestly, it was your intuition that was letting you know that they were exactly where they were.
I guess, or maybe I was just a little chicken. I don't know. For whatever reason, I didn't last 5 minutes.
Did anybody see that episode Upon It Live or no? It's like, now, for that whole season, it's like, for the majority of it, I was surveillance outside of the locations. And I will say, it's like, that was our second time investigating. The first time was under wraps when we did it, but we did it, the second time was during On It Live. And it's like, for that, for as many investigations that we've done together, and it's like, some things they're freaky, they're scary, but it's like nobody's ever really been like, you gotta get the hell out of here. And it's like, for that, when you're watching surveillance and you're watching everybody in there and you can hear them through their mics and you can watch them, and it's like during that episode, and it was live, and it's like, and it's one of those that freaks me out the most, even though I wasn't inside the house. I'm watching outside in their front yard, let's call it, but when you can hear everybody inside, and you can hear pretty much their heartbeats through your headphones, and you can see from what you're seeing, what they're seeing, and you're hearing what they're hearing, and you can hear their heartbeats and their breaths, and it's like, this is freaking them out, and for that, freaked me out. Even though I felt like I was kind of in a safe spot because I'm not inside, I'm watching, but it's like when you're seeing, and we do this all the time together, all the time, and it's like we have such a good time doing it, and we laugh, we freak out together, everything, and it's like that was one of the most where it's like they were just, you can hear somebody's heartbeat through your headphones. It's a whole different ballgame, and it's like, so I'm sitting out front getting freaked out because they're freaked out inside.
Did y'all ever investigate the Bill Witch?
We got to hit the cabin. The number one bucket list place for me is the cave. I've never been able to go to the cave, and that's, globally. If I could go anywhere and investigate, it'd be that cave, just because ever since I was a kid, you hear stories about the Bell Witch growing up in Tennessee.
Right. Even in Glasgow, and nobody knows anything in Glasgow.
I would go
And
to
they talk about
Alaska.
Bill-
You gave me a
Bill
free trip.
Witch. Yeah.
And one of the other times, I'm not saying this because we're here tonight, but is here at the Thomas House, and this was, I think, back in November, if I'm not mistaken, October and November. So it was very recent, and this was at the church. And I've never had so much at one time go off at one time. It's like we've had, the first thing, everybody started getting the feeling. Get done talking.
Hey, you're interrupting the event. Quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started with somebody getting a feeling, and then somebody said it starting to feel a little cooler in here. So we set a millimeter out, and whatever the temperature was, it was back again in October. So it wasn't very cold. I remember I was in shorts, but so we set a millimeter out, and all of a sudden the temperature starts dropping, and it dropped about 10 degrees, which is a lot for in one area. And then we started getting meter activity, and then Chad blew, which will probably be tonight, the death whistle. And it's like, then we started getting EVPs during that time saying, don't do that. And all that started happening at one time. Meters, did the temperature drop, and this and that, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you started feeling like this difference of, you have to feel it. It's like that temperature kind of changed, that feeling changed, the meter stopped going off, and all of a sudden, you look at the temperature, you start climbing right back up to where you started. And it's like whatever was in there came into a full bush. And They dropped the temperature, we were getting EVPs, meters were going off, and in about 5-10 minutes, it's like everything went away, the temperature came back up, that feeling leveled off, everybody felt it. It's like I've never had that go anywhere. We have so much in one time, and that was here at the church. So hopefully we get that tonight when we're up there. I know it's cold, but not even just temperature change, it's that feeling. You know, I think if anybody's experienced that, it's like, you know, can't go, it's 68, 64 degrees, it's that feeling, and it dropped, but physically that temperature dropped and everything started going off at one time, so.
And it's not like Hollywood either, you know, it's not like you see on the television shows a lot of times. Sometimes it's very subtle. It's like something you hear or something you see out of the corner of your eye. I mean, don't expect, you know, chairs to float and things to start levitating and pea soup and all that stuff, because, I mean, you're going to be disappointed. And, you know, they don't always dance on cue. You know, you can take a horse to water, you can't make them drink, so, you know, don't expect to be just everything going nuts. But I mean, there have been many times when we've been at this location, because I think this is probably our most visited location. It's just, it's because it's local, but it's also very active here. It usually doesn't disappoint. There's a lot of people that have had a lot of first-time experiences here, so, you know, just keep an open mind, but don't expect too much.
One thing we can say is everybody participated. Obviously, when we first started, there's a lot of first-timers here, a lot of first-timers ghost hunting, period, but everybody participated. We're all here for the same reason. I know my first time, it's like you feel funny talking in the dark to things you can't see, but it's like, that's why we're all here. Nobody's gonna look at you funny, and it's like, we love it when you think outside the box. Ask questions that you don't think anybody would. If you watch the shows and you're always like, why don't they do this? Why don't they ask that? This is the time to do it. You know, nobody's gonna look at you funny. It's like, always think outside the box. We love it. We're always learning from each other. I don't care if you've done it once, twice, or if you've done it 1,000 times. It's always the first time. No matter where you're at, we've been here many, many times, but tonight, again, is the first time for us, because you never know what you're gonna get. Kind of like Forrest Gump. You never know what you're gonna get. So everybody participate, think outside the box, ask questions that you always wanted to ask. We've had people come here before and they're, you know, it's like the next day they're like, I kind of made something I wanted to try last night. It's like, why didn't you try it? Like, if you built something, if you have equipment you want to try, this is the time to do it. Anybody bring equipment?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, did anybody bring equipment? Anybody want to try something new?
Yeah, I've got a teddy bear. It's something kids can play with. You touch his nose, belly,
Got a
whatever
Pooh
he
Bear.
lights up. Well, it's just something a baby I got at Walmart.
Absolutely.
And then I've got the fingering little thing. If you move your hand, it goes off.
Sure.
I've got that along with a few other things I've got.
We brought toys upstairs in the green hallway, and for myself, I've had activity upstairs in the green hallway, especially with toys. Whether it's Sarah or Edwin that we think we're talking to, we don't know, but definitely toys up there. I brought, the first time I brought, we call it cat ball, but whatever, the little.
It's a cat ball.
It's a cat ball.
I've got one.
And it's like, and I said, and this was here, and I was like, if you can roll that ball and make it light up, I'll leave it for you. And not only did it light up, it moved, not far, you know, but it moved a little bit, and I left it. And somebody was like, you gonna really leave it? I'm like, I'm not gonna chance taking that ball home and pissing off a little girl ghost. But, so I left it here, you know, but it's like, there's definitely something here. That joke usually goes over in other places. But no, it's a true story. I left it here. But yeah, you think it's Sarah upstairs or Edwin, but they definitely use toys.
But she's got one in her room right now. She's got the teddy bear too.
Cool, yeah, break it out. We'll use it. We'll use anything, you know, within reason.
Have you guys brought anything home with you?
I think I have before. I mean, I know I have, you know, but a lot of people stress out about it. You know, people are like, oh, I gotta go to my house. What do? It's like, I tell them, don't do anything. Just ignore it. It'll go away because, and you know, I hope everybody starts out in this as a skeptic. Just don't believe blindly in anything. But because once you experience it, that's when you believe. You don't believe first. But if you do believe in this kind of thing and you have experienced it, you know, don't fear it. Because it's just going to draw off of that fear and it's going to get worse and it's not going to go away and then it's going to become a problem. And then people are gonna start asking you how you do exorcisms and blessings and things like that. And it's really like, in my experience doing this after 10 years, it doesn't get to that point if you don't let it get to that point. But yeah, I think that there's something in my house now. We just have kind of a relationship, you know, look but don't touch.
I don't know. I always say, people ask that all the time, and I'm like, if it did, I don't want to know. But you never know. And it's like, I always said this for years, it's like, if it did, I'd move. But it's like, I recently moved, so hopefully it didn't follow me home. But I don't even test new equipment at home. It's like, if I ever record, even I'm changing batteries, I don't want to go test, end of story. It's like, I don't even want to go, are you here with me? Because if I hear, you know, house for sale. I don't care if I just bought it 4 months ago, a house for sale. So it's like, I don't even go there. I go test, and I'm good. But if it did, I don't want to know. Because it's like, that's my sanctuary. You know,
Right.
I love what I do. We do it every week, someplace new every week, and I love it. I'm all in wherever we go. When I leave, whether it's up, you know, with everybody or just by myself, I'm like, thank you God for keeping me safe. But whatever's here, you stay here. I'm going home. You're not allowed to go home with me, and hopefully they don't go home with me. But if they do, I don't want to know.
Out of all the equipment that y'all built, what was the best thing you built?
Talking about like Ghost Asylum? I'd say probably that thing Brandon built at Old War Memorial Hospital. It was like looked like a door to a gate, and it had a solar panel on it with a yeah. And we had some kind of, I don't do the technical side of it, so I don't know all that scientific jargon, but for whatever reason, that capacitor got charged in the dark from a solar panel. We couldn't figure that out. It dissipated when we brought it home. But I think that's one of the only successful ones, besides the Devil's Toy Box that we built for Ghostland, Tennessee. That was pretty creepy.
Put them on mirrors.
Yeah, that one had us freaked out for you. But you know, we've been on the soup. You know, they made fun of us on the soup, so that's how I know that we made it. Because they were talking about that time that we were trying to get it into a rock or a piece of coal or whatever the hell we were doing on that one. But yeah, you know, and these were all just experiments. You know, we call them traps on the show, but
Tell them what happened about that. You had that the toy box with all the mirrors, but was it at Chasey's house?
yeah, they blew up a prop box on the actual episode. We blew it up because it was, you know, climactic, and that's what the network wanted. But the actual box that was having all that activity, we brought it to Chasey's house, and he had it for a couple months, and then one day his wife said the whole house shook, and he was in the garage like the next day trying to figure out what was going on, and opened the box, and one of the mirrors had fallen over, and there was like 3 scratches on it. I'm not saying that's what shook the house. I'm not saying that's what it was, but you know, pretty freaky stuff.
It's funny because it's like the Craig Font episode of Haunted Live was the same box. And it's funny because it's like the years of telling the story of blew up a prop box. It's like whatever happened to the real box, and it's like it appeared again on Haunted Live of Craig Font. Now I think it lives at Porter's house. I think Porter has it back at his house. I don't know if anything happened with it at Craig Font, but yeah, now Porter has that. So if anything did attach to it, that's Porter's problem. I think Exorcism that was a different one. That was
Del Duty got that one, didn't he? That was like a big.
that was a big one that was rebuilt, another version of that. Yeah, that I don't know where that one's at, but the original one, Chasey had it now it's at Porter's, which is good. It's not at our place.
Well, they would do spin-off shows other than Ghost Asylum, like that for stuff.
We got tired of like mold and asbestos and being cold, because we would always film in like February. It's like a foot of snow. We're in Ohio or something, or Michigan. And, you know, you stay in these gloomy places and you just film from week to week for so many months, and you're ready for something new. So when we did Haunted Towns, we got to go when it was sunny in the spring, and we got to investigate, you know, different locations in one episode. So it was a little bit more variety that way, and it wasn't quite as doom and gloom. You know,
Right.
you do something enough, anything, you get tired of it. So.
When y'all were in Stockton, Kentucky at the Allen County Memorial Hospital, did you all really feel like there was a doctor supposedly still in the hallways? I mean, I remember watching the episode, but
That was from season 1, so I can't remember a lot of things about that episode. It was like 7 years ago or something, I think, or 6 years. But I know we were getting, it seems like some of the activity, the responses we were getting were from some sort of doctor. I can't remember his name, but I think we even got his name on one of the EVPs, so it's possible.
Talking Scottsville?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, since the episode, I think we've been there 3 times on a
Yeah,
bubble
y'all were
or
there
something
just
like this.
recently.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I mean,
just in
there's,
the last few months, yeah.
I was there 3 times, and there's definitely something, I don't know if it's the same doctor you're talking about.
I just remember
Getting,
the episode that based on the doctor's particular, but I can't think of his name right now. I was just curious, because that's where we live.
Right, there's definitely something there. We had activity, and it was funny because the last time we were there, a woman was at the event like this, and she's like, I was born in this place, and we're like, wow, we're gonna use you tonight, you know. But it was very cool. No, we've always had something happen there, but I don't know if it was the same doctor.
And it's never definitive. I mean, you can't say without a shadow of a doubt, 100%, this is this. You know, in this
Right.
field, everything's all theoretical. It's, you know, there are no facts. If anybody tells you they're an expert, they're lying. Because we don't know all the reasons why and the secrets and all that stuff. Any other questions, guys?
Do you guys have a favorite place?
This is
Been
one.
to aside from here?
This is one of my favorite places. Craig Font, because it scares the hell out of me. What else did we go over? We go to so many places I can't keep up sometimes. Open, Missouri State Pen. That's a really active place. You know, multiple locations. I've done the gas chamber there many times. That place is active. We're going there next month.
Battleship became one of my new favorite places that we're doing in North Carolina. That's coming up next month, I believe. We're doing something there. We were there a few times in the freezing cold and the blistering heat. We've been there both. I mean, but you don't even think about the elements with the activity that we're having. I mean, from EVPs to meter stuff to disembodied voices, to seeing shadow figures, stuff that we've all seen it, we've all heard it, and it's like when you have a group of 10 people see something, you have a group, you know, in your one little location hear something, and you hear footsteps coming that aren't here, and you hear them walk through. It's like this ship is legit, and it's scary as hell because if something really happened, you're gonna beat yourself up to get out of there because you gotta find somebody to lead you out. But yeah, that's definitely cool. If you guys aren't going to that next month, you need to come with us because that's very cool. This place has probably become one of my #1 places because it's close, because we get to spend the night, you know. But there's always something that happens. It's like we hit the hot spots together. We get 24-hour ghost hunt all night long, and it's like between the church and every area in this hotel. Like there's always something going on. So this is always one of my top places.
For those of us who are not gonna spend the night here, is there any way that we can find out what's gonna happen tonight? Or anything we should put on the website or something?
I mean, after you
Let us
leave.
know that next day tonight.
If what's that?
She wants to know what happens after they leave. If we're gonna tell.
Oh, we can't tell. No, I'm only kidding. No, I mean, we love it when people send us stuff that happened. Like, email it to us, send us on Facebook, whatever it is. It's like, we love when people share activity. Not everybody does it, you know, so it's like, a lot of it is the experience, which you can't really share something like that. But that's what we hope you have, the experience. But if you do capture something, please share it. We'll post it, we'll retweet it, repost it, whatever it is. But it's like, we love when people do that. You know, share with us what you captured.